You might have to re-download them.
That ain't it.
Why did I have to scroll so far for that? Something I go to every 7 days should not have to be that far. Either I'm making too many notes or, or something is really wrong with my filtering system. I was like, oh my goodness. All right, by the time I'm done tagging, if I don't hear it sounds, I'm gonna go on and keep it pushing.
You hear it?
Huh?
You hear the music?
No, ain't nothing going on over here.
That's crazy.
If anybody is tapped in on the live, ask them. I haven't
No,
if they hear it.
nobody's on
Okay.
the live either.
Okay.
But you couldn't hear that, huh?
Mm-mm. Nope. Why can I not tag
That's
Dina?
let me see something.
All right, good people. For those who will be watching on the replay, I'm going get going. We will
Hey,
pause for the jam if we get the music going. But I'm gonna go ahead and say
just
what's
go.
going on, good people? Huh?
I say just go.
Yeah. It is 8:04. See, we give it good 4 minutes. I think that's good. It is 8:04, and it is time for another scoop show. We are so glad that you have taken a few minutes to slide on in here and chop it up with the crew. We've got a really good show planned for you on this evening. We've got some things that we're going to dig into, and I'm excited for it. So I'm glad that you all come on in this room. Go ahead and drop your city and state in the comments as you get comfortable. That is how we say our what's ups around this place. You know, we like to see just where we are reaching from week to week. We out here, okay? I don't know if y'all know or not, but the scoop is out here, all right? So when we see y'all tapping in from new places, when we are saying our what's ups and we come back later on watching those replays, it makes us feel real good to know that our thoughts, our topics, our people now, okay, are reaching out here and making an impact across these internet streets. All right. So get on in this room, uh, hit your what's up, say hello to your internet cousins and them, and hit us with your city and state. And while you are down there in that section, go ahead and hit that share button for us for the one time. To the left, to the left. After you get through hitting that send for your city and state, go ahead and hit that share button. Let your mama and them, your people and them know where you're gonna be for the next little few minutes, chopping it up with the scoop crew. Okay. I appreciate that very much. All right. But after you get through doing all that, you know, we want you to come back here and relax. But we also understand that you might have to get up and do a little bit of moving around. Okay. This might be dinner time for some of us. This might be, you know, you're ready for school tomorrow time. This just might be the time where you are unplugging. We get it. Okay. Come
Mhm.
on in, say what's up, what's up. And you can circle back. Okay. You can spin the block on the scoop. All right. Because we got those good replays out here for you. So go ahead and get ready for to grab your screenshots or whatnot, wipe your screen out, do whatever you got to do, get the chip grease off the back of your hand, so that you can go ahead and get this screenshot so you can send this to the group chat so you all can tap into the scoop and talk about it. All right. So we got many ways for you to tap in with us, and you can do that on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, and Instagram. And I'm gonna hit you with those handles real quick. All right. On YouTube, you can follow at The Scoop Show. On Facebook, at Real Scoop Show. On Instagram, at The Scoop Radio Show. And on SoundCloud, at The Scoop Show. All right. For those of you who can't look at our pretty brown browns for the whole time, and you need to hit us on the treadmill while you're walking, while you're working, all of that good stuff. Hey, SoundCloud, how you doing? How your mama doing? All right. So go on and tap in with us. We are out here with all of the options and all of the ways for you to get that good old replay. All right. And these topics that I was talking about, this awesome agenda that we've got locked and loaded for y'all for the one time, you're gonna see a good chunk of it was brought to you by y'all. Okay. It is literally straight out of the inbox. Okay. And straight out of the inbox is our way of staying tuned in to all of the different internet streets and alleyways. We know it gets deep out here in these streets. Okay. Because we got things to do, just like you got things to do. We got to do this thing together. Okay. And when you see something, when you see something, say something. No.
You was gonna say that. I
No.
knew that's where you was going.
Oh no, but for real though, on the real, if you see something that you know that is just screaming scoop conversation, okay, go ahead and copy that link for us, tag us in, let us know this is something that we need to be chatting about, and you will see it. All right, Win will post it, I'll post it, we'll tag each other in, and we'll hit you with that good image right there and that hashtag straight out of the inbox. All right, so let us know. Okay. Tap in with us for the one time. Tap in, tap in, tap in. And we're going to talk about it. All right. Straight out of inbox.
Straight out.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Gene? How you doing?
What up, Gene? The genius is in the building.
Yes.
Shot
Yeah.
Town.
Keeps my baby looking fresh out here.
Shot Town in the house. That's what's up. That's what's up.
For sure. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I am good. I'm good. I can't complain at all. I took yesterday and today off, which is very like me. So I started watching. I finally started watching this Bernie Madoff series on Netflix. Madoff about the Ponzi scheme he did. That was very interesting. So far, very interesting. Yeah. Like just talking this.
I think I might have watched that one. I might have watched that.
If you have not watched, I watched it. It's like 4 episodes. So yeah, watch it.
I've been watching the Playboy one on Hulu, I believe it is.
Yeah.
They did a Playboy expose documentary about Hugh Hefner and the Playboy franchise. Whoa.
Really?
Whoa. Like there's a lot that we probably have known bits and pieces of over the years, and especially after, Bill Cosby was brought to the light. We found out a lot of his stuff that he was doing was taking place at the mansion, but
that was Cosby stuff happening there?
Him and Hugh Hefner were like besties.
Really?
Yes. He had a key. A lot of them had keys, but he had his own entrance. He could come and go when there were no parties. Listen, it's like 15 episodes. They are interviewing the bunnies, the house mothers that, they started as bunnies and then progressed to be bunny mothers and then worked in corporate. And it was crazy. The girlfriends of Hef, because he's had many throughout the years before the show that we saw in the early 2000s. Oh no. Oh no. It was a thing. It was a thing. Yeah, much deeper than we realized.
In the magazines.
Because they were silencing it. Like it was a whole thing behind keeping the image. They had police. They had, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check. It's on Hulu.
Check it out. It's on Hulu. It's the Playboy. It's got the little bunny and all that. You can't miss it. Watch it. Yeah, he was not. I was like, wow. Yes, very much so, Gene. Yes, it was cult-like. He was not just the little old man who liked titties. Like that was not what F was. Like,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out. All right.
That's what you've been watching.
Yeah, you
Madoff and Playboy.
Madoff and Playboy. I'm gonna tell you what I didn't watch.
What's that?
And now I feel like I need to with all of what I've been seeing about it. I did not watch the Grammys at all.
I didn't either. I forgot they were even.
I didn't even know until I started seeing the post about it.
Yeah, I didn't.
So
I'm gonna have to YouTube the clips.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because I've seen Yeah. Let me say helpful. I'm gonna have to check that out because I can't. Some of the stuff I've been seeing, I'm like, my churchy friends is in up in arms about some of the stuff. And
what happened with the church? Well, I ain't seen that.
I guess Chandler Moore, from what I picked up, Chandler Moore or Maverick, and who's a part of Maverick City,
okay,
sang with somebody else. I don't know, but it apparently something happened in the performance that didn't go well with the church people. And
was it the Sam Smith performance, the one all in the red, where they were? Okay, yeah, fill me back in. Yeah, because Sam Smith's performance is getting a lot of heat right now because they were supposedly it wasn't supposedly. I've seen the images. They were in all red, and I didn't see it, so I don't know what the song was, what the content was, or whatever. But the imagery was very off-putting to the people, and I don't know if this was from the Grammys or if this, because Photoshop is a thing, but it looked like there might have been horns. There was like red light lit horns that were passed out to some of the audience members that I saw wearing. So like it was a couple images, but I've seen a lot of things mixed and mastered to make a point in some of these posts that I've been seeing. So I'm not sure if that was from the exact same thing or not. So yeah, check it out. And I would like to know about that, because if it was the same thing, that would be very controversial because they are big mad about that performance.
So they're mad at Sam Smith for it too?
Yes, the church, the Grammys, the church is mad at the Grammys, Sam Smith, everybody that touched that stage and red that night. They got a problem with the whole lot of them. Okay, like everything having to do with the thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Like I said, and then of course I saw Beyonce didn't win. People mad about that.
Oh yeah, because she lost Album of the Year to Harry Styles, and who I don't know who that dude is, but I also know that we're in a very small vacuum in comparison to like the numbers of things. So like, because he's not big to us does not mean he's not big. But yeah, I have no friend. But it's the Grammys. Like they do this. Like why we keep getting surprised and pissed off by these shows? It's just like be mad about the BET Awards, the image, the Soul Train. They're gonna get involved. You know what I mean? Let them start snubbing people and then holler at me. But like I'm not razzled. I'm not at all. My feathers don't get ruffled for what they do at the Grammys. Like that's sheer entertainment for me at this point. Like,
well, I'm gonna check it out. At least I'm gonna check out the highlights, and then we have to talk about it.
Shout out to the Queen though for being the winningest musician for Grammys. She's gotten more Grammys than like any artist ever. She won. She broke a record on Sunday night. So she might not have won that award, but she's won enough where Sis broke a record, and that was a beautiful thing. So shout out to her.
Okay, that's what's up. Right. We're gonna have to have a recap after we get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, right. We'll circle back with the late show. Yeah, this was a supposed fight with the Quavo and Offset and all that stuff. So yeah, I got some stuff to do too.
I saw that I saw a post about that too. Okay, we got to follow up. All right, you ready to jump into these topics?
Let's do it.
Okay, so speaking of coming back, a couple of weeks ago, look, now I got to pull up the original post. But a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Cookman and Ed Reed. And we talked about Ed Reed, who played football for the Baltimore Ravens, and at the time was trying to be the coach at Bethune-Cookman, and he started trashing Bethune-Cookman before he got the job, and consequently didn't get the job. And so we talked about that I think it was 2 weeks ago, talking about how it really wasn't wise to trash your employer before you get the job. and the people obviously, some people saying that because what he was saying was correct, it was okay, and he's just looking out for the students, yada yada yada. Others said that didn't make sense again to trash your employer before you get the job. Well, As a response, Bethune-Cookman has come out and said that they're going to make major changes. So the article says, it says Bethune-Cookman held a press conference to announce a series of major upgrades to campus facilities. It says the announcement came. Da, 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 da. Okay, anyway, so it says, I have to read that part, but it says the part that's interesting. Campus officials say that the proposed changes are not a result of Reed's comments. They said that the interim president, Lawrence Drake, says over the past several months, they've gone through each campus facility to find which ones need work. He says there's now a plan in place to make it happen. He says, yes, there are issues where we have microbiological growth that we're trying to remediate, but we have to do that very carefully so as not to displace our students, not to disrupt their education and learning. He says at least 60 buildings on campus have some sort of problem, ranging from mold to infrastructure upgrades. Bethune-Cookman has committed $10 million to complete the work and says they have added financial reports to the website in an effort to be more transparent. So, first of all, my question was, do you believe that Ed Reed's comments did motivate these upgrades, or should they now hire him? Should they hire him back because the players, the students, and alumni have come out in support of him and want him hired? So, should they hire him back? Do you think that these upgrades are now a result of him? I also want to throw out there we have microbiological growth that we're trying to remediate. Just say we had mold. I just want to throw it out there. Just be like, yeah, we got mold.
Yeah, so like I didn't understand if they were saying that was something growing, or if that was some souped up way of saying we have to take small steps to make this happen so we don't interrupt the students' school. Both. And I was thought, just say we don't have a full plan. We working on it. That's essentially what this is saying. We're working on it. As far yeah, you're not gonna see these buildings shut down and construction tape up no time like tomorrow. It's not happening, but it's coming.
Well, it's coming. We got plans for it. We got to make sure we got a place to put our students, and then we're gonna move them.
But microbiological growth.
That means we got mold. That means have mold. That's just a nice way of saying mold.
Just say mold, bro. It's mold. They said mold. The picket sign said mold, didn't they? Like when they was posted, they said mold. Don't get fancy now. Like don't do that. Don't do that. So do I think they should hire him? Was that the first question? Do I think they should hire him?
Should he be rehired? And do you think that these changes are a result of his comments? He put pressure on them.
So I'll answer that one first because that one's an easy one. Yes. I believe that all of this visibility and him calling it out the way that he did absolutely put feet, they feet to the fire. They had to do something. This wasn't going to go away, especially if they weren't going to hire him and the kids wanted him and everyone is saying bring him in because he's done this thing. Them not reacting would have been very bad for them because we're in a very reactionary time. So
it'd been tone deaf. It almost would have been tone deaf at that.
It absolutely would have been tone deaf. Yes.
Anything.
Yep.
At this point, because again, it wasn't like, first of all, no one said he was wrong. Like no one said he was wrong in what he said.
They just said how he said it.
Was how he said it, who he said it to, and our issue was when he said it. You say that after you in the door. You don't say that when you're still trying to get in. Mm-hmm. So I think that my honest opinion, I actually think that it would be that they should hire him. I think that because here's why. Okay. Unless the person that they're bringing in next has the same marketing machine, ability to make noise that he has, you are wasting this moment. To me, this is a good time to say, you know what? We didn't agree with what he said, but listen, now let's take you along the journey of how we're fixing it. And now he has partnered with us to bring this into the reality, as opposed to now it looks like you just fired him because to shut him up. Even they did, and I'm not saying they're wrong for it, but I'm saying, but like, let's turn this into something that could attract even more visibility.
So question, because I'm not familiar with this, with what's Ed Harris? Is that his last name? Reed. I'm not familiar with him as an individual or an athlete or anything like that. Is this out of the norm for him to go to this? Like, is he known for being this big, provocative, say it like it is, without
say it like it is, yes, but he's not known for being loud. He's not like Deion, where Deion is known for being loud, even though what Deion saying is fine. Like, Ed Reed is not. Ed Reed, you don't see him, even when he was playing, he was flashy on the field. Like, he was, but not even, I wouldn't say flashy. He was hard-nosed on the field, and he knew his stuff. But he was, but he wasn't like Ray. He played with Ray Lewis, so Ray Lewis did all the talking. So he wasn't, but he was very much so a leader. So for him to do this, again, that's one of the things people were
it was an extreme response for what he felt was an extreme situation. Right. Does he want to still be the coach of this at this school?
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, I think, with that being said, if he doesn't have like a history or track record of being someone who would create issues for a business, because as much as I appreciate making enough noise to get things changed, I also fully understand that these universities are businesses.
Absolutely.
And they thrive on not just clicks and views, but coins. Not clicks and views. Coins is where they're really thrive.
Kind of clicks and views.
Yes. They need the clicks and views that convert to coins.
Exactly.
So, if this individual that they are bringing on has an understanding that, yes, this was a issue, this was a situation, and this is not how we do things going forward, you can, flip your tables behind these boardroom doors so that we can deal with it here, but please spare us the going live before you have a conversation to talk to my live face. If there is that level of understanding and he gets that, then I don't see any reason why. Yes, I agree with you. Bring him on. The kids want him. The alumni want him. There's a support factor here. Why make it more difficult for someone that's chosen by who's the establishment that's appearing to sweep this under the rug? Because I also think they should have owned that he did bring the proper light to it. They're not going to hire him regardless. They should have owned that him bringing the light to it is the reason why they're making those changes.
I agree.
If they decide to not go forward with hiring him, this could have been a very teachable moment. Yes, he was the catalyst for this change. However, MF and comma, this ain't how we like to do business here. And this is also a moment for, while we're at college, we're going to teach at a high level. This ain't how we do it. So therefore, you cannot go forward with us. We appreciate you shedding the light. We wish you good
but you have to do the consequence of it.
But you have to do that somewhere else. You know what I mean? And that could also be you can't really knock them for that and move on with their decision. And if he is on board with their forward plan, then bring him on and then say, yes, we appreciate you bringing these things to light. While we didn't appreciate the process, we appreciate the plan. Let's move forward and execute and go forth and sing songs. But
I think part of I agree with that. I think part of HBCU policy. I think also, even in any organization, when you have that person who does what he did, you also, as the leader, have to recognize that there is a level of control that person has gained. And so if you're not a leader who knows how to manage that type of person, then you're always in the back of your mind waiting for them to pop off and not sure. And
that's not really a true partnership. You're not really collaborating with that person because you're holding back just a little bit because you don't really know how far they're going to go. So if they can't get to a level of trust, even if their intentions are good, then
not going to work.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
Not going to work. And I think that's the probably, in my opinion, reason why they wouldn't bring him. But yeah, it would be sad because I think, like I said, I think he'd be good for him. But I totally understand as a organizational leader why you wouldn't. I definitely get that. So, all right, let's keep it.
In these times when folks is getting canceled for sneezing wrong, yeah, I can see why school would be like, wait a minute, let's talk about this.
Yep. All right, so I'm in. I can't even say his name. Stephen L. Labussier.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with this guy.
Made it very. I was on the Stephen L. was on the on the Red Table Talk, and made some. They were talking about men chasing, and he makes a very good comment. So I guess I can play it.
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Let me play it. Play what he said.
Men have this innate desire to conquer, face challenges, and we get a high off of that. But once emotions are involved, throw that out the window. No man who's been in love with a woman said, I hope she makes me chase her. Once we're now so invested, we don't want this to be difficult. We're hoping she reciprocates, not makes it more challenging. What you'll notice is easier for men to chase lust than it is to chase love. Because when you love someone and they're not receptive to you, it hurts. When you're just lusting after the woman, all you're focused on is what you want to get from her. Which is why you'll see some women have men who were never serious about you, but will chase you for years on end. Wow. Because they're just locked into, I want this. Exactly, that's it. That's where the men are hunters kicks in. But once he's emotionally into you, he doesn't want all this resistance. That hurts too much.
All right. So So, all right. So the question I put was, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? I agree with you. I also know that there's a difference between pursuing and chasing, and creating intimacy and experience that grow and maintain healthy relationships. So the question that we're talking through is: are there levels to the chase? Have we romanticized long-term relationships too much, or have we gotten lazy with our love?
So I agree with the clip, to be honest with you. I do. I think there are levels to what a chase is supposed to be as far as a realm of dating, courting, that type of thing. I think sometimes we can get the chase confused with staying engaged in the fire and keeping the spark lit and all of that, and we will sometimes loop back to what we were doing when we go back to we try and revert back to how we were in that dating phase to reignite that. But after you progress so far, that's really in a way detrimental, because there's still, even if you're coming from a very open and honest and innocent place, there's still a level of gaming to that dating there's a level of the chase in that dating space. There's a level of game is not the right word, because it feels disingenuous, but you're not fully invested. You're testing it out, you're seeing how this is, and you're putting on your best, and the whole impression thing. But after you've established that there's a real relationship at play, the way that you keep a spark or keep a fire going is very different. And if you don't know how to communicate that, or are not familiar with what that transition looks like, I think for women especially, sometimes we want what that original thing looks like. So when a man says like, no, I'm past the chase, for us sometimes we hear, what does that mean? You're not into me? What do you mean? No, it means that I'm past that point of feeling as though there's something to lose. I feel like I should have it, to a certain degree. I have this thing now. So now I have you, I have this love. There's a certain security that's supposed to be there. So this constant going back to trying to chase that is frustrating. I can completely understand where he's
also, I think the part that's also missed is during the chase, during the pursuing at the beginning. I think for us, there's a different level of reciprocity that's expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that what happens is that when we get beat past that phase, I think that for us as men, that chase, then the pursuit, the chase, whatever you want to call it, then it seems like it becomes like we're constantly trying to pursue you for I want to use the word acceptance. I want to use the word acceptance because in our mind we feel like we got you, and not so much that we have to be lazy, but there's a different level of maintenance, so to speak. There are different levels of things that are now a part of our, I'll use the word responsibility. And so now it's like you're still, a lot of ladies are still in that mindset of, like you said, of pursue me, make me, I want to feel that need of wanting. But we're like, no, I'm trying to maintenance. I'm trying to build something now that looks different than me pursuing you. I'm gonna spend my money different now because now I'm thinking about buying a house. And
there's a different level of intention
as opposed, so it's like those things are different, and it doesn't mean that we are less interested. It actually means we're more interested. It just means but our expectation now is that whatever we're doing, that there is a equal reciprocation. And I think that's the part that gets missed often is if you don't reciprocate, to his point, what he was saying in the video, that it feels like rejection. Not just so much just the chase. It's the lack of reciprocity. It's the lack of, you want me to do all these things to make you feel special, but I don't feel, there's not a level of special that I feel either. And during then, that was somewhat expected because I was trying to woo you. Now, now we done wooing. So I think that's where the rejection piece comes in, because if I'm consistently doing this to you and you're not giving it back, or you're not, it feels that's the pain. It's the pain of, does she really, that's where I think where some of the, does she really care about me, or does she care what I'm doing for her, comes in. What they say, it's like once we hunt, it's like once we hunt down what we want and it satisfies our appetite, we want to garnish cooking and service.
I dig that. I dig that one. But it makes sense. And I think it is still difficult for a lot of women to understand what it looks like to pursue a man past that initial spot also. Because when a man says back to a woman, you want me to do all these special things for you, what does that, and I don't have any of those things for me. And then we say, okay, what is that? I do, because we get into the battle of the bullet points. You know what I mean? I do this, and right. I make sure I take care of this,
right.
And a lot of the time, none of those things are the things that speak to the other person's feeling seen or pursued, right, or ignited, and that is something that I think,
or if they do, they don't give the same weight.
Yes, because a lot of the times a woman will need more maintenance, so to speak, from a it's action. They need to see it. It's more consistency. I didn't want to say performative because then that minimizes it, but it's not that. It's a different act that has to happen. Whereas for men, a lot of the time it's, hey man, just let me stay focused on what I'm doing. Make sure I got these things. It's quiet when I come home. We got something, and it's simple. I don't need it all the time. I don't need all of the extra hoopla. As long as you here and our home is good, I'm good.
The world off of me.
Exactly. So then when we're saying, okay, cool, if that's how I can do that, but she still needs those things. So for him, a lot of the times, because he doesn't need all of that, that means why should you need all of that other stuff that you asking for? Because I don't need all that to be happy. Why can't you just be happy with And so now we get,
Mhm.
and to me, I don't think that's not necessarily fair, because that's your bucket, that's your cup that's full with these simple things. Whereas the majority of, there are some women who are like, yep, just check my boxes and I'm good. You know what I mean? But a lot of women, most women, I venture to say, are not set up that way. There is a consistent level of remind me that it's me. You know what I mean? That has to, and it doesn't have to be big and grand all the time. It's more intentional, and it's hard to express. Sometimes I need it to be more intentional to someone who's just like needing the little, like if there's not an equal understanding of what intention means, that can be very difficult, because he's like, bro, just all this extra, like, why? Listen, I said I love you, like, and I'm here and I'm doing the things, like, you know what I mean? So that can be difficult.
Let me push back on two things.
Yes.
So one, I think part of the concern is that I don't think that a lot of times we don't get that the differences in what we want. I think part of the time what it is the things that we are doing, the things that we like, are not really being done, number one. So or they're being done inconsistently. And when they're being done, it's how do I say? You want me to celebrate that it's being done, and then you want me to celebrate the way that you like it as well. So it's like, so I have to show you appreciation for doing the things that I like, which is fine. But I've done that, and the way I've done it is these things. So I take you out to dinner, we do date nights and stuff like that, and then you tell me those aren't good enough, that you need something more on top of that. And it's like, well, I appreciated you the way you liked, but because your assumption was that you appreciated it for those things that you were doing, now you want more. And so it's like, okay, so now I have to do, so let me, and so
it's never ending. When does it really satisfy?
For us, when do you really feel appreciated? And so I think for us, there is this thing of, okay, and on top of it, I'm really only getting what I want sometimes. So I think that's where, for us, sometimes there's this level of frustration and that's why I talk about the reciprocity of and then it starts to hurt, because now again, our response, and we're talking about men, as he's talking about, men who care about you and are emotionally invested. So I want to be clear when I say that, that when we're doing this now, because we are connected and we are emotionally present and we want to see you happy, that now when we start doing this and you're like, okay. Now it's like, well, what the so now you don't appreciate it.
Now we're doing the loop. Now we're in the loop.
Right. And so now it's us trying to figure out, and now here, my concern with men, the thing I'm telling men now is, now I'm telling men to stop saying stuff like, I don't want to be appreciated for the things I'm supposed to do. Nope, don't do that no more.
Because why not?
We've been saying that though. Like, as a man, I shouldn't be. I'm supposed to do. I'm a father. I don't need to get anything for Father's Day. I'm supposed to be a father. I'm supposed to show up, so you don't have to celebrate me. We're not doing that anymore. No, you show up well as a father. You should be celebrated for Father's Day. It's your birthday. You show up well for everybody else for their birthday. Don't be like, I don't want nothing. Just don't worry about me. No, worry about me.
Agreed.
Because there's got to be those times of replenishment, reciprocity, where you feel like, okay, this moment is actually about me, and that's okay.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's my pushback.
No, and I'm pushed because that makes good sense. It does. It makes good sense, and staying on topic and focus of what what the subject was as far as how men relate to that and how that translates to them. There is no rebuttal that I have that is focused on this particular topic. Like we could have a conversation all day about how what you said, how it relates, because we're humans,
right,
and relating with each other. So there's always, that's the thing that I think where we get looped also, and just discussing these things. There's always a counter. There's always a Me Too moment to be had when we have these conversations. I think the growth happens where you can stay focused on the me of the moment. You know what I mean? And in this moment, it was that made all the sense. Like I get it. It makes sense. It tracks.
Because the next post we go talk about like, so yeah, and that's facts. I want to say again, I just want to say, I think if I were for a lady, what I would take from this is, don't think that we don't appreciate being appreciated. Just like y'all do too. Like that's so it's very much so. I think again, don't this thing of we don't like to be appreciated. I think we have created that. I don't know if we created it, but we reinforced it.
Yeah.
And we need to stop. Don't let him do that anymore. If you have a good man in your life, do not let him do that. Like, make it your business to try to spoil him and show him, I really appreciate you. Just like make it your business when we fall short to tell us, like, hey, homie, you slip showing. So.
And I would add another moment for the women to take from this is based on what the clip was saying. After you know that you've leveled your relationship to a certain point where there is that emotional investment where we're no longer lusting and we're in a loving space, we've got to do better at using our words, our big girl words, that actually create room for conversation to happen so that we can understand so that we can have an understanding about what intention means. When we say, instead of saying chase me or I don't feel like you want me or whatever those things, and that's hard to translate. That's hard to break down of what you're really meaning in that. So if you actually express what it is that you need or that you're missing or the thing that is triggered, whatever this feeling is say that in a way that is, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I like it when it's this. I like these things, whatever it is. And then allow that feedback to happen. Allow questions to be asked. Allow room for that to breathe a little bit and then action to take place, because it's not always, I don't care. You know what I mean? Especially if it's the first time that you've said it, maybe the second time that you said it, you're figuring it out, especially for new relationships. And sometimes even the older ones you get into a routine, it gets really, really easy to do. But we've got to, sometimes we being the word ones, we've got to get better at refining how we express our emotions, because it can be overwhelming sometimes. It's a lot for us. So imagine trying to
receive that,
hear it, and then translate that. It's a lot. So and from what I heard in this conversation, I would say just we've got to also create that space for that conversation to happen.
And if he does not respond right away, typically it's going to be, again, we're talking about a man who cares. It's typically because he doesn't understand and he's trying to unwrap his feelings and emotions around what you just said.
Yep.
So give him a second. Or like you said, give him clearer words. So, yeah. That's the economy of female relationships, how reciprocity is executed and balanced. Yeah. Problem is many women dishonor a man's vulnerability. Thus, it shuts down our ability to communicate effectively. It happens.
It does. To go to that real quick, because it does, and I think this is going to take an effort on both sides, because we don't always do this well. I'll be the first woman to say that. Like, I know I have messed this up because I just know that I have, period. And it's not always on purpose. It's not always out of spite or to belittle or to do any of those things that it ends up feeling like.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times we'll recognize that we have messed it up. Like, and a lot of the times that one time is the only time we get. And then we spend the entire rest of the relationship fighting for one more time to get in. And that's not fair. So while we as women have to own when we mess this up and really do the work to resolve it, if you want that woman to stay soft, because that's a thing, and to stay open and willing to greet you with that embrace and what you need, because you don't want to walk around with the swole for everybody. Like, you do need the soft place to fall. Like, you do. Like, that's the whole point of us in a lot of times. Like, not the whole point, but like, why get a woman if you can't fall into her? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why keep lusting? If that's the case, it's much easier. Less stress. You know what I mean? So you gotta allow us back in after you see us doing the work, when we want in and we're trying to, and we we're doing all the things and we're setting it up so we're not in that space again. You've got to allow us in because we want it, and we recognize that we've messed that up. And that's something that a lot of women are like, man, I know, but that was like how long ago? Like, and I've been to all of these other things. When do I get back in? So that if you're going to continue, if the vulnerability being broken and if it's done so terribly where you will never allow her in, really think, do I really want to stay in this relationship? Because at that point, you are now saying this person spends the entirety of this rest of our time together outside of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what you're saying. I'd rather you stay outside of me than in, because of this time that you've not done this well. So as many times as you would ask for her to try and recover, forgive and give you a chance to do it again. And I'm not familiar, but I want to, and show me, teach me. And a lot of the way we have to do that same thing. We have to be given a lot of that same grace, I would think. Now that's not saying allow her to abuse it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We were saying, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard a woman apologize for that. Not to say, and that's not to say that they don't, but I don't think I've ever heard a lot of women like, what, I recognize I screwed that up. But we do have to, as men, say, she gets it, and work towards repairing that thing that was, because a lot of times the reality is, a lot of times what really is keeping us on the outside is not just what she said. It's the fact that what she said has happened before, and now we're trying. Now it's that all women are like this, so now I can, no, she made a mistake, and then so at some point, just like you need grace, you need mercy, you have to give that to her. So, and David is correct. You also have to know what safety looks like for you and have those conversations. You got to have that conversation with her to say, listen, or to help her figure it out, because the reality is some just don't know. Some just don't know how to say, how to create that, because, for whatever reason. And you got to be like, all right, I'm about to tell you something that is vulnerable. And are you prepared for this? Because I need you to react a certain way. Like, sometimes you gotta tell them, because they don't know. Yeah. Some just don't know. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
Because we're not used to that. Like, we're not used to that. We're thinking this is like any other thing. You know what I mean? Especially if it's delivered with. If you tell me this deep thing the same way you tell me your list of snacks from the grocery store, I don't generally know unless I've been given some type of asterisk, fine print coming. Hey, won't like, it's not my first mind to catch it. I'm thinking you either playing or it ain't something we're just talking about it. Like, I don't know the weight of it unless you really say, hey, this thing is heavy. Like, I need to talk to you about something, you know.
Now, if he come crying, then that's.
Well, I mean, yeah, like
I'm not saying for you. I'm saying that's just for like ladies. If he's crying, then like code 10. But if he's like, to Q's point, in a regular conversation, you don't always necessarily know that. But if he come crying, then I'm gonna need you to not have to be told this is a problem.
No. That's really whack of you if you do that, by the way.
Because they are fine and they use that to throw us off because we agree. Some do. Some do. All right, let's keep it moving. We got to go to the next one. I hope this is the right one. I think this is. This is yours. So Q asked the question. She says, what does it mean to feel emotionally safe with someone? There has been lots of conversation surrounding being protected physically, but what does this look like from an emotional standpoint? Does your level of emotional safety affect how you show up in your relationships? If so, how? That burp was trying to come out. Go for it.
Yes. So I asked this question. Well, no, I didn't ask. This was a supplemental question from some things that have been kind of floating around. We often talk about, when we say, talk about protection of women specifically, we often immediately go to like the physical types of protection. And when it comes to relationships, whether it be romantic or even with those close to us, there is a level of emotional safety. I don't always think we know how to communicate, or is communicated in a way that really settles it. Always, I think sometimes it sounds like fluffy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, they on their girly things again. But I really don't. Yeah, I don't think that people that don't spend a lot of time in that warm and fuzzy mushy place may always hear. I don't think it's easy to hear. And I've been ruminating on this. I come across a post that I had shared with Wynn, and I read it and I thought, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm thinking of all the women's groups that I'm a part of, so many of the conversations that we've had over the years, in the various groups and chats and topics. This has come up in so many different forms, time and time again. And it's always, we get kind of illustrative with the language and all of that. But I thought this so kind of nutshelled what a lot of women feel as far as just that safe place, and then how it makes us ready for all of those other things, that softness that we keep talking about so much, that willingness, that femininity, that free femininity that men love, that they crave in us. It comes from a place of safety that grows in a safe place. So I'm just it's not a long post, but I want to share this with y'all real quick so that we can kind of have a different level of conversation about this. So this is courtesy of a really amazing page that I've been following for a long time called Uppity Negress. Very entertaining page. But she says, when men complain about the women in their life not being interested in sexy times, what I usually hear is, I failed to be a place of safety and relaxation for this person. For me, horniness is kind of a constant state unless I am incredibly stressed, very tired, or just in general don't feel safe with you. I will always desire my partner in that way if they are a safe space where I can just breathe and let go. Showing your genitals in my face when I'm not in that space is a very kind of messed up thing to do. As a society, we talk so much about being his piece, but what about hers? If you make sex yet another burden or chore that she is supposed to shoulder rather than a space of safe connection, exchange, and relaxation, no wonder she's uninterested. And she says directly in a comment, she says, directly related, I'm most attracted to folks who handle their business, people who don't feel like labor, people who give as much as they take. These people can always get it. Was the supplemental comment to this post. So this one was good for me because it did sum up so much of the conversation that is linked a lot of the times, and it's so hard to express. But I thought this kind of nutshelled it for lots of women. Now there are some that can do it and love sex, and that's just is what it is. But I think for a good majority of women who are in a committed relationship with a person who is their person, and this is the consistency, you know what I mean? This is the space that I think that safe type of place is where those most feminine and
I don't know what just happened. Did I do that?
my computer at all when that happened.
Did I do that, or was that you?
I think that was you. Like my hands were literally in my lap. Like I was not touching the computer.
That might have been me. I was taking off the other one, and I think it's you too. Sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, so those are my quick thoughts on that.
So are you referring to, so you said when you're referring to women who are in committed long-term relationships?
In general, most women, as far as being that soft, sexy, free feminine that open them soft selves, I think it comes when you can feel your safest. I don't think that just happens when we wake up and put our feet on the floor. I don't think that's just our natural way of being.
Okay. So do you feel like it's more difficult to do for ladies who are in long-term committed relationships because of, or is that what you're saying? Or are you saying, I know, and I'm trying to,
I don't think it's more difficult. Okay. What, to be in a safe place?
To consistently remain in that emotional safe place with the person who you're with.
No, I think sometimes it can get harder for. No, I think if the couple is intentional about staying safe for each other, it's not hard. But sometimes I don't think that it's understood what it is to be a safe place for another person.
Yes.
If that is not understood, then that is hard, and regardless of the relationship status, honestly. That's why I kind of backtracked a little bit when you said the committed relationship. I just think it's a person in general that's in relationship with other people, not even necessarily always romantic, but there's certain friends that I have that I know I'm not going to say those things to you because I'm not emotionally safe with you. I can't say those things to you because I'm not in that space. So, this is fair. A relation period.
Yeah. What made me ask that was I was wondering if there was a part of this, went back to the previous post that we were talking about, was that feeling of, was one part of this was wondering if there was a correlation between I don't feel safe, I don't feel wanted to I don't feel safe, because I know I've experienced some ladies who are professionally who are like, if my relationship, if I don't feel wanted, it makes me withdraw. So in the withdrawal, I was wondering if that was a part of it too. Okay.
I think women can withdraw if they don't feel safe. Yes. But I think that there is a different withdrawal that comes when they're not wanted, that stems from somewhere else. Yes.
Okay. So this is my man mind, okay?
Yeah.
In my man mind, and for those who are listening, I'm giving bullet point things, not to say check off a list, but just to say, just to give an idea. So as a in my man mind, if I am on a regular basis doing the things, listening to what's going on, engaging in what's going on with your life, trying to see how I could help support, wanting to know what's going on with like the deeper things. I'm not just like, hey, hi, when I want some, roll up. I'm not doing that. So I'm doing the things. We're doing the date nights. We're doing the, all of all the things that in our mind say, I'm present, I'm here, I'm outside of those things. What does emotional safety to most women, I know you can't for all, what does that look like? What does that look like? Because I think, or is it not a thing to do? Like, I think sometimes we thinking like if we're doing these things, and it's saying that it's sometimes, I know I've had to learn that it's not a thing that I do. Sometimes it's just my calmness, my presence, or even sometimes my anger towards something that's happening, and me finally having to say, you know what, that's enough of this. This is what you're going to do. Let's move on because I'm sick of this happening. So I've learned that I've had to do that a couple of times too. So help us understand what this emotional safety looks like, feels like. Like, can you give me?
Yeah. So it yes and no. It is something that you do in a way that it is how you show up for her. Meaning, you do listen. You are engaged in the things that she is bringing to you, the conversations, the fears, the dream, those types of things. Yes, but it is also a level of you're going to call me on my stuff. You're going to be able, I can have a hard conversation with you and know that I'm still loved by you. We're going to be okay. You know what I mean? That my failures are not going to create this space that's going to have us in shambles, or it's not that I am going to be valued at the end of the day if we don't see eye to eye, those types of things, that I am still going to be my whole person. If anything, you're going to make sure that that's protected no matter what. I matter that much to you, that even in the hard times, and not saying you're going to coddle me and you're going to pat me on my head and it's okay, but you're going to take care in how you care for me and how you deliver the hard things and how you disagree, how we disagree. It's one of those, you're going to set the tone for us having good, clean, you know what I mean? We're going to keep a level head about us. It's setting the tone for how we engage with each other. So I know that no matter what, he's going to deal with me. I'm fragile. He's going to handle me with that level of care. There's a level of that is a safe place. Because it's hard to put a specific do these things because it's not a bullet.
Yeah. That's why I said, like, feel. What is the feel of it too? Because I know sometimes it's not a doing all the time, but it's a doing that creates a feeling, but also a presence that creates a feel. Like I get that there's it says levels to this.
It is. I'm going to my post. That's what I'm scrolling for real quick. Because I asked, of course, this was a straight out of the email. So I asked the question. So some of the comments says, I need to know that I can share my feelings about any and everything with my partner without fear of being judged or screamed at. And then someone says, yep, and it won't be used against me. If I feel emotionally safe with you, that means I'm able to speak my mind or open up to you and not feel a way about it. This comment was from a man. It says, safe equals me having the courage to share a brave, challenging, and sometimes rough topic of conversation that I've had in my mind 11 times. And not only does my partner listen, but understands that I've gone through every outcome on how my partner will react. And my partner knows I'm vulnerable in that moment and treats me with dignity, sympathy, and care as we process it, workshop it, think tank it, brain dump it, and whatever other ways to best address it without judgment nor future judgment. First time my lady did this for me, I swear I was ready to run through a burning brick wall for her. Yeah.
I know.
Someone else says it means feeling free and able to talk about anything without fear of judgment, being yourself with all your moods, moments, quirks, preferences, ups and downs, and being able to receive feedback for growth in a way that is healthy. Feeling safe means being accepted as you are without the pressure to change in order to appease someone else's preferences. Being completely safe and being completely safe and vulnerable is he allowing me the safe space to breathe, cry, yell, and forgive. He loves my scars and all. They aren't dismissive of my feelings. I have freedom to be imperfect. They value my thoughts and opinions, even if they disagree. So this is just, to me, in addition to what I've said, it's like seeing that they are also a person and they have thoughts and that they want to be heard, and that at the end of the day, I'm not just my bullet points. I'm not just what I do for you. Same thing that we're hearing again, so many of the same things. Knowing that the things that I fear about myself are safe here. Is kind of what I think a lot of women know. I keep saying judgment, no judgment, no judgment, no judgment. Like being it when I don't know, or if I'm not my best. This isn't the most mature thought. This isn't the most thoughtful thing. You know what I mean? I'm just bouncing it off of you, and I don't want this to take it. Now you've changed how you think about me based on this conversation that I've had, this thing that I've shared, this experience that I've gone through. Knowing that my dark stuff is okay here is what this is saying to me.
Yeah. I was, as you was reading it, I was thinking what you said, which was a lot of this is just like human stuff, but so made me wonder, how do we get to a space in a relationship with two people who supposed to care for each other don't do, like, there's something that leads to this. Like, I don't think people just are in relationships just like not trying to be safe.
No.
So how do we, like, where does it because what it sounds to me is someone has either become hardened for some reason, or is hard for, hardened, or hard is hard, and so they're not being soft towards that other person anymore. So it makes me wonder, like, what has happened in those instances for that person to get there. And we know it happens. Like, we know that it happens that people get in relationships now, and for whatever reasons, all of a sudden they just ain't feeling them, that person no more, and they don't want to put up with your stuff no more, no matter what and whether it's something you did, or they just didn't say something, or they've changed, or I don't know. Like, we see that, but it always makes me wonder what happened that we go from I am committing to being present for this person and wanting to go to battle with in life with this person, or for this person, not with, against, but like for this person, to I don't want you to feel, I'm not going to do everything in my power to make sure you feel safe.
I think it's a mix of outside conditioning, similar to what David is mentioning, the way that we're brought up, meshes and crashes up against the lives we attempt to create in our little nucleus of love. Our lives, our families, our work lives, our friend groups, those types of places where we create safety. And then that allows us to be open and vulnerable. But then when we get hurt in those spaces, we don't always deal with them as our nucleus, our safe places. We then revert to acting like we do with the conditioning of the world. So then we take our world defense mechanisms and bring them back into the house and expect it to work. And it doesn't.
It never does.
We don't bring the same, we start out with good intentions because, okay, you're my person, you're my person, you're my person. We bring you in. I'm showing you my stuff, and I'm giving you my raw, naked me. Here are all of my scars and all of my things. And then you're human too, and you actually don't.
You don't do it well.
Yeah, you didn't do that right, and you heard it more, and oh no, you know what I mean? So now I'm going for what I know. I'm not familiar. This is the first time I've ever, or you're the first person who's ever in this space. I'm not familiar with how to recover from you hurting me because I put you in a space that nobody's ever been in. But I do know what I do when I'm hurt, and it's them. So when you're responding to inside hurt like the outside to inside people, they're going to then respond like we're. It's a chain reaction, and it's hard to stay in, again, intentional. It's hard to stay focused on, okay, I'm messing this up. I'm talking to you like, I'm loving you like
streets.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm dealing with this like that's not what I would expect. You know what I mean? And we often we forget that this don't feel good. I don't feel good. Mm-hmm. But what I'm doing can't possibly feel good. So we don't do that. So I think that's kind of how that keeps happening. And I think where we are so frustrated as men and women right now is there is a shift happening. It's absolutely happening. We're going to talk about it again in the next post, I think, where there is a leveling of understanding that's happening. There's a shift of understanding that's happening. We've gotten to a certain level of finance, education, status and access. We can do these different things as individuals now. And we've reached these certain levels of success. So now we're expecting more from our individual we're going out and we're broadening our horizons now. Okay, bet. Now everybody got to broaden. And that is now creating this friction and against the conditioning. We're breaking the way that we've been taught, and it feels I was in a conversation in another group earlier today where we threw the modern woman thing around and how this don't mesh with that and how you can't expect this and that, and I'm thinking, but it's changing. Like it's happening. This is happening. You know what I mean? So like we're stretching what the expectations are, what the standards are, what the access points are, and we have to have a different, like, now that is changing, we have to have an understanding. What does it take to get there? So the engagement has to shift. Yep. And I think these kinds of conversations are a part of how that happens. What used to work is not working anymore. Like, that's almost one of those non-starter type responses now. Well, that's how it's always. That's what we do. That's what, like, but
we always do.
That's not working. Like, it's not.
That's what we're doing.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna go to the next one. We got two more actually. Yep. So the one you're talking about is after this one.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about.
This was something. All right. I think something about the other one. So this is one that got sent to me. It says Burns. Hold on, let me go back to. I can't read that little writing. Oh, one moment. Almost there. Burns. It seems like ladies don't want masculine men. Men who are blue-collar workers, men who get dirty and wear overalls and fix the car in the driveway. It seems like a lot of ladies want men who wear tight pants, wear man bags, wear tight, skinny jeans, and can't fix anything. What do ladies want? I know you can't answer. I know we can't answer for all ladies, but what about the majority? So, questions. Yeah. So, what do ladies want? David says, ladies, Q says, ladies, is it the look of the man or is it more than that? Fellas, has this been your experience while dating? David said that men are becoming woke to emotional safety.
Yeah, that was to the last post. He was sharing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't think this has anything really to do with how the men dress. And I said this on the post. Yeah, I don't think it's an aesthetic that women are looking for.
Yeah.
I think now I'm going to summarize what I said on the post. I think that the blue collar traditional masculine man has for a very long time been able to get over with being the provider, the bread. I take care of the bills. You got a house, you got food. These things are done. We good. Don't ask me for nothing else. All that other stuff, that's what you got your girlfriends for. You go cry with them and do all those things with them. I'm going to work. That doesn't really work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
that don't hit the way that it used to, and women are expecting a little bit more. So it it looks like the man who can do the more looks like the man bun, man bag, skinny jean wearing man. That's the trope that looks like the guy who's emotionally tapped in or can have that conversation and engage in that way. I think that if that man, if the blue collar man can also hold those types of conversations and find space to see value in those things, he's in there. No problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an issue. And if the man bun, man bag, skinny jean wearing dude can also provide and create the safe place to do all of, and have the roof and we fed on all those things, then he's winning. Like, I don't need you to fix things like that. Can we pay the man that comes to fix the thing? Great. Right. It's fixed. Like, as long as the thing gets fixed, that's a temporary situation as far, in comparison to like the long term of our relationship. Like, my dishwasher being broke, 2 hours and the check being wrote, I'm written and we good. Dishwasher fixed. But about this life though, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the difference. And there's a digging of the heels for a lot of folks who are just like, I'm not doing that. That's not what I do. I pay these bills. I keep this food, and then babies is good. Leave me alone. And they're being left alone. And that's kind of frustrating. And I get it, but I mean, like,
yeah. So I'm gonna tell you how I answered this question to the person who asked me.
Yeah.
I said, I actually think that women, I pretty much said what you said. Like, no, women, I think women in general enjoy a man who can fix things, who's blue collar. I said, now what women, I think most women now want this same man to be able to do is to clean his nails when he is done and be able to put on a suit when it's time to go somewhere and also hold a conversation. I said, and I said almost verbatim what you said, what we would have normally said is I said the same things that we expected her to do with her girls, some of that she wants to do with us. Mm-hmm. So some of the conversations, I said, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I said, but there is a level of emotional intimacy that women now want. Now, I also told this person, if I were this blue collar man who couldn't do that, I recognize that there is a subset of women who want that. Mm-hmm. And I would just stick
with that
with
women,
doing with what I have to do to appeal to that subset of women. Mm-hmm. Just like there is a subset of women who likes men who wear skinny jeans and however else the things that he said. Right, I said like that. I said, just like for myself, I know there is a subset of women who like church guys.
Yeah.
And who like the type of person. So I don't try to go after a woman who says she want a man that's 6'5". I'm fine at 7'5". I would be stupid to spend my energy on a woman who's like, he got to be 6'2". Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone.
I'm gonna keep it pushing. Yep.
Even if I think I am a great person, or I know I am, I'm not who you're attracted to. So figure out what you are good at. And I told this person, I said, I wouldn't waste any time trying to figure out what women want.
Yeah,
I would just figure out who I am, be that, and the person who likes me the way I am will come.
Yeah, that's true. Completely agree.
If they don't like you, okay. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. It's not your person.
It's a whole lot of women who like my 5'7" self.
Yep.
I've never had an issue trying to get a woman. Thank God.
As much as I have grown to like do the, when I hear the whole modern woman thing that's happening right now, like it's at the same time, like I know who I am. I follow it right into that. You know what I mean? Like I've said it before, I call myself a hybrid. A traditional man ain't gonna want nothing to do with me. Like nothing. I talk too much. I have far too many thoughts. I'm gonna take my ass to work. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be things that I that's just it. And I'm okay with that. I know that about myself. I'm not looking for that lifestyle. Like I don't want to be that. And I don't want what that's
what that says, what comes with it.
No, I don't. You know what I mean?
They all come with something. They all come with something. That's exactly it. So I know like that, just like there is a traditional woman who wants nothing more than to be with a traditional man who likes all of those things. I wish them well. You know what I mean? That ain't my jam, and I'm okay with it. And I'm not going to fight back and forth with a person who ain't never going to be the person. Like that's just, I wouldn't be for you, and I'm okay with that. You're not hurting my feelings by telling me. I think
that, I wouldn't want you. Well, I wouldn't want you either.
Right.
Like,
I think that's where it gets mixed up. I think where it gets mixed up is when we're trying to be with somebody who doesn't fit one, and so we take that rejection as something is wrong with me, instead of we just don't fit. Like there's just not a good fit. Oh, you don't like me like that? Okay, cool. All right, and it's not to say that there are things we could do to get better as humans, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. So, like, just be okay with it. Like, no, we're just not a good fit. The type of man she likes, the type of woman he likes is this, and that's not who I am. So,
and I think we need to stop attaching actions and attributes to types. A person, is going to do whatever it is that they want to do for their person, whether it be paying bills, whether it may be working for, what, hushing, submission, whatever that is, because that's all, whatever if this person loves the other person and this is the thing that they want to do out of love for them, that's what they're going to do. It's not because they checked all of these boxes per social norms that say, okay, now I have to do XYZ things. It's saying I love this person and this is the level of care in which I want to have for them, and then they go forth and care for each other. So I think that's one of the other things. Just because I wouldn't do that for this person I'd never be with anyway, because you do these things that I would never find attractive in a mate, so now you don't deserve these things, is crazy. Like that is essentially the conversation that we're having, because I wouldn't do these things for you packaged how you're packaged. No other man would ever want to do those things for you either, and vice versa. And that's just stupid. Like, I don't have any other cute word for that. That's stupid. Like, that is an ignorant thought process, because it's happening. Like, it's happening. So like,
I'm laughing at David's comment. I asked for a unicorn, and he says, handsome, smells good, good deed, talk well, tall, intellectual, hood, mechanic, fly spaceship, play hack-a-sack in the park, cater a dinner, beard, park a car, be stylish, watch holiday movies, be Alan Van Zant, be inspiring like T.D. Jakes, sing like John Legend, be a UFC fighter, but be sensitive like Ralph Tresvant. I'm going to tell you something. Besides the fly spaceship and play the hack-a-sack, it sounds like me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not a UFC fighter. But I'm not.
But I mean, you in the realm. You a Jake.
I mean, I got the Jakes. I can be sensitive until I get mad. Then I have no sensitivity. I have no empathy. Let me say that. I'm not the most empathetic person, but I can be sensitive.
But all those things
I'm not tall either.
Those are things that can be found in one person. I don't think any of those things are supposed to or expected to happen like at the same time. But I think a man having the capacity for those things, there's quite a few unicorns probably out here. I don't think that's.
I think a lot of ladies. I think there's also the handsome to everybody is not. Handsome to one is not handsome to everybody. So I think we also have to be honest. I think that a lot of times it's very difficult to get past the physical part, because we all have our physical, what we desire in somebody physically. So I've seen all of that stuff. I've seen some great women, and I'm like, she's a great woman, but I don't want to roll over and look at her every day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and that's We gotta stop acting like that's not a real thing.
I can't.
Beauty does fade, but it takes a long time sometimes. So like you gotta look at, you know what I mean? So when it and if you don't have nothing to begin with, and you only banking on brilliant personality, I don't know how well that's gonna roll for you.
I guess it worked for some.
A lot of a person to bank on a brilliant personality, and you know, when it's all these folks out here that have that and some. So like, we gotta stop putting people against that standard.
Chip like the quid pro quo. Okay, some people do. Absolutely. All right, last one. Did you have anything more on that one?
No, I just think find your person. But I think we also answered that question and the difference of why it appears that way, because I know where that comes from. I totally get. I don't want him to understand. I agree with Win and the post in his response as far as find the people that are for you. What is it? Demetrius says, find the lid to your pot. Yes, do that. But to answer your question, because I know this is a lot of the frustration that men are having in the chats and on the pods and on the things of, you know, they don't want us no more. They all about it and they want to, you know. No, that's not really it. That's not really it. So I think we did also answer the question of why it looks like that.
They might want 2 or 3 of us, but they won't.
That's a very surface.
They want us.
Different, you know, that's a surface definition of what it is we're looking for. But no, that's all I had on that.
All right. Here, before we go into
this one is the one that made me giggle real quick.
Let's go ahead and
oh yeah, it's tribe time. All right, y'all. So I don't know if you're new here or not, but if you've been rocking with us for a good little while, y'all know every September and every February, you're going to get me in your face about this good old BTMR fashion show. It is that time. This is the event for you to be in if you are here in Oklahoma City and any of the surrounding areas. Okay, we got folks that travel for this here. All right, I need you to log on to btmrclothing.com. Hit the events tab up at the top and get your tickets, because the show is going down Sunday, February 26th, the last Sunday in February. It happens this same Sunday every year. The last Sunday of February is BTMR Sunday at ICE Event Center here in Oklahoma City on the east side, right there on 36th. Come through. The show starts at 6 promptly. At 6 it is the most culture-filled, blackest show, the most amazing show. I mean, the tribe comes through and it is amazing. All right, your girl is hitting the runway amongst all of these beautiful people on this red hot flyer. Check the page, check our resume. We out here in the city, okay? If you don't know, you know now that we sell out every year. Do not wait to get tickets. We sell out every year. Every year. On Monday, we got people, we missed it. Oh, man, I didn't know. I showed up. I couldn't get tickets. Ain't no standing room. Don't even chance it. Don't wait on getting your tickets at the door. We be ending up with like 5, maybe 10 tickets. Like, don't play. Go to the website. It's linked in the little comments. Go to the events tab. Tap in. We'll see you there. February 26th. BTMR Fashion Show. Let's go. Get the tickets. I cannot stress that enough. Win ain't even here and he knows. We sell out every year, every year they fight because they didn't get
every year they arguing about it.
You're gonna be looking at the lives, wishing you were there.
Looking at the pictures the next day, like me.
Oh man, and it's right down the street. Right down the street.
I'm gonna come next every year. I'm gonna come next time.
See, you don't live here. You got an excuse. There's people that's literally on the east side, mad every year that they miss it.
But saying inevitably, I'm like, I'm coming, and then something come up, and I'm like, shoot.
Man, this year, it's now we've progressed to the point where it's like the entire weekend. We got a dinner, we got a day party. Y'all go to the site.
I'm talking about.
Get the things.
I need to be there for all that. Anyway, I gotta work. All right. Gotta be at the church. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. You're right. You're right. If anybody got an excuse, it's pastor. So I mean, you, sir, can check the hashtags. You can.
And I do. I absolutely.
And you do. Yep. Yep.
Ooh, that look good. I'm like, hey, Q, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Well, all right, I saw y'all. I be inboxing. Oh, y'all, you was looking nice, sis.
Killing it. Yes, it is a production. If you've ever been to Ice during the day, like it is not that Ice. We transform Ice Event Center into a whole nother.
And she got the kids in it too. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see a little Peyton. All right, I see you.
Baby,
Ashley growing up right in front of my eyes. Like, okay, look.
From a toddler, like from a little baby, a literal baby. All of it. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go.
Let's go. Yep.
All right. Last one. So this is a text conversation between, let's just call it a man and his fiance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's the green, she's the black. So she sends him a text, babe. He says, yes, babe. She says, I love you. First of all, anytime a woman
red flag. Yeah, giveaway.
You know, and he hit her up. He says, I love you too. What's going on?
What's up? Yeah.
She says, babe, I really want to go to the Bay concert. It's in July, and pre-sales for tickets is February 16th. You don't have to get me a Valentine's gift or a birthday gift. I just want to go see Beyonce, please. He says, come on now. We agreed to not spend money on entertainment until we save enough for our house. We've been saving for 10 months. Can't do it, babe. Sorry. She says, I'm begging you. She doesn't do concerts often. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. This would really make me happy, babe. Please. He responds, you told me last year an engagement would really make you happy. I did that. Then you said a house would really make you happy. We made a deal to not waste money on stuff like that. Her tickets start at $600 for nosebleed without taxes and fees. We can't do it. Once we get this house, we can have fun. Stay focused, babe. She said, so it's a no? When the tickets go on sale, they won't last long. She will be sold out in hours. I'm begging and you're still saying no? He says, no. Stay focused. They said, stay at the course, babe. We will talk about this later. I love you. She said, wait, some of that money is mine, though. I know I gave you at least $1,000 towards the house fund. Please give me my money and I'll pay it back later. He says, are you serious? Tell me you're joking. She says, I'm very serious. When can I pick it up? He says, you're telling me Beyonce is more important than our dream house we've been saving 10 months for? You contribute $710 to the fund. The rest is me. You promise to be responsible. She says, I want my money. He says, okay, I will draw today and you can pick it up. The engagement is off. I need a break. She says, what? So you breaking up with me for asking for my money? Fine. Text me when I can pick it up. Bye. So the question is, do you agree that they needed a break? Was this an opportunity for him to show leadership?
I think they definitely needed a break from this conversation. This should have never been a text conversation.
True.
I think she asked, he answered very reasonably. Like he had sound judgment in how he responded to her. I think this got blown out of proportion. Like if this were a real conversation, I think both of them went far left really, really fast. I think she was wrong, period. Like she's wrong, flat out, no real wiggle room in her even going this hard for Beyonce tickets. So like, let's get that really, really clear. with that being said, the conversation is still happening. Okay. So with that, so we gotta get past that. If we've gotten all the way to the point of engagement, planning for purchasing of a home, 10 months plus here, there's a level of time and energy that has been invested in a future here. So letting Beyonce and all of the energy that gets wrapped up in what happens with these types of things, we know how this goes. I would hope that since she's shown that she is outside of her mind for this particular event, I would hope that after they finish conversation, it would be a moment of, okay, all right, this is stupid. Like, I see what's happening right now. Let's have this conversation and let's really see, are you really about to let me give you this $710 and you really about to risk it all on the chance that you're going to get a ticket to this show and you're going to really do this? Like, and that would have to be our face-to-face after you've ran this through your girls, because I don't think the group chat is going to be okay with you throwing the Bay away, the real life Bay away for Bay, because Bay is going back with Jay and Blue and all the rest of the children at the end of the night. So, like, I don't even know if a real group chat is going to support this foolishness.
I've seen some that have, but
if she's your real, if these are real ones, you need to throw the group, delete them and the chat if they're supporting this foolishness. But like I'm saying, like, I'm hoping if the day goes, at the end of the day, we can have a conversation and he'd be like, really? Like, you really doing? Is this really what we're doing? You know what I mean? And if that is really what she's doing and she's standing firm on, it's my money, the so funky $710, it is like not even taxes in comparison to whatever. I'm like, that's not enough, sis. 710 is not enough. You can't get rent in 2023 at 710 for a decent house, like apartment. You're not going to do it anyway. That's neither here nor there. So, like, I'm hoping that there would be some type of conversation, but she still would need to also understand this is unacceptable. Like, even how you went left like this, Bay or not, like, this can't continue.
So here, I agree, totally agree with you. But I think there was something that some people missed.
What's that?
When he said, last year you said an engagement would make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I made that happen.
What is it? When are you going to be satisfied?
Mm-hmm. And so I think I know for him, it is, I have done enough of trying to bend to make you happy. And I'm not doing it. And this is my line in the sand.
Yeah, not
and
for that.
To that, I'm okay with that. But I'm also wondering, why did you propose if you weren't? Because to me, that sounded like you really weren't ready to propose. Mm-hmm. And you did it to make, if you really did that to make her happy, that's problematic.
Mm-hmm. And why he's probably so quick to be like, well, fine, take your little money and I'm going to be good with it then. Because this wasn't for me anyway.
Because it sounds to me like this isn't so it even sounds to me like that wasn't the only time. Like, this is the norm. The norm for her is to be undisciplined or reckless, emotionally driven to the point where she might be a little reckless. And so now he thought, okay, I got it to where we're moving, we're saving, she's happy now, we're good. And now again,
yeah, here you are with this again.
Yeah. You doing this again? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? And he didn't end the relationship. He didn't say I want to end it. He said I need a break.
Yeah, the engagement is off.
So it's like we're not ready for this. Mm-hmm. And so I think it brings to me the question of, is he now saying, I really didn't want to get married and I did that to make you happy? Like, or I wasn't ready yet to get married and I did that to make you happy. And now I'm saying, and now, you know what? Now I'm gonna do this on my terms. Because now you've shown me that if I give you an inch, you're gonna take the whole dang on football field.
Because they've done 2 milestones and they haven't really done any milestones yet.
Right.
Fiance, not a wife, but we're now planning for a home, but we're not a married couple.
Not married. Which
is okay, but like if you're now saying that all of this was only for me or for her in the first place, what are we really doing? Yeah,
exactly.
you're
we're
very right.
Making her happy. Mm-hmm. We're doing what she wants to be happy instead of so to your question, is this an opportunity for him to lead? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I think first he has to lead himself into not making decisions he doesn't want to make.
Right.
And then number two, he needs to say, you're not going to rush me anymore. Mm-hmm. We're going to plan it. And this is how we're going to do it. And if you don't like the way we're going to do it,
we won't do it.
We won't do it at all.
We won't be doing it. Yep.
That's where his leadership now has to kick in. And he has to be okay with whatever she decides to do. Because either you're going to follow and work with me, mm-hmm. or you're not, and I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Because hell, she ain't even doing nothing she ain't even doing the work to make her happy at this point. Like, I'm doing all the things that it doesn't matter to you. Like, so
you don't want no house. First of all, she don't want no house.
Yeah.
Not for no $710 in 10 months. You don't want no house.
She wants him to buy the house. She wants him to get the house. And that's not
$700 in 10 months. That's $70 a month. Y'all gonna be safe. They're gonna be safe for 20 years for this house.
It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Yeah. So it's time for some come to Jesus meetings for sure. It's time. Yeah.
He handled that well. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't think it should have been a text conversation. I agree with you. I do hope that they have a conversation later on where he's like, all right, now, here's your money. Is this really what we're doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Before you take this money, mm-hmm. just know what this means.
This is saying
we're done.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with us being done, here's your money.
Have a great time at the concert.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's leadership. That's going to be his leadership.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that. Yeah. It wasn't necessarily me asking that, wasn't saying, appease that, because I do think she was flat out that, her ask for it. Because to me, I'm like, you need a side hustle. You need to be doing something extra to because you already ain't putting in enough in the obligation you already set up. Like, this is something you already committed to. So now you want to add to that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Q. If she gets a side hustle for this, I would be upset.
Really?
So you got a side hustle to go to Beyonce, but you couldn't get a side hustle to buy a house? So I still have a question of your values. Why are you willing to hustle so hard for this Beyonce concert that you're willing to?
We don't know the parameters of their goal either. We don't know the terms of how long it's supposed to take or what they agreed to, what her salary is versus his. We don't know what those numbers are. True. So if they'd already agreed that whatever she was putting in, they got to the $710, if she was meeting that agreement, mm-hmm. and he was okay with that, and we were saying we're not doing any extra entertainment. That's what he said. That was their agreement. Right. And she decided that this entertainment thing was something that she wanted to do in addition to taking care of her obligations there. I'm not going to skirt what I've already told you that I'm going to do. This is extra and apart from this commitment. I'm going to pick up a side. I can Uber Eats or whatever for a couple weeks and make me some quick change and get my tickets, and I don't ever have to take another order no more. And I can go back to my regular life, fulfilling my regular commitment, and we'd be good to go. But if I don't know why I think that would be I would kind of probably look like, okay, now wait. If I would now we didn't say I needed a second job to help pay for this house as a part of my commitment before. My one job was just fine for to cover what we were going for. I wanted to do something extra apart from the commitment, and that's why I got the side. And I'm leaving the side after my commitment is fulfilled. After my extra is done, I'm done with the side and going back to my life.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? That would probably be the thing.
All I'm saying is I'm sure. I would just be in my mind. I'm thinking this. this would get us there faster. And if you have again, we don't know the full conversation, but in my mind, I'm thinking if you have the capacity to do that for this, that means you could help take some of the pressure off for let's get this house a little faster if you added more to this pot. So this is just me we talking. I'm just telling you how I'm thinking. Like I'm like, so you can't.
Because I could hustle for a couple weeks to come up with a G fast and be done with it and back to my normal happy life. But taking on a second job for a long amount of time is asking for a different me. Essentially. So like, yeah.
Beyonce giving us different. Don't get a different me for you this concert. Can I give it? I'm just telling you the truth.
I can bring it to the table, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna commit to no full second. Like that is not; those two things are not equal to me. Like
I'm just telling
that
you
reward, even that risk or reward, that just don't hit the same.
The reward for a house ain't the same. I mean, I hear you, and I'm not disagreeing.
Investment. How much Uber Eats you think I'm gonna do? That's gonna be able to put a dent in the house as opposed to me being able to give me one solo ticket to Bay Concert.
You putting $70 in a month right now. Can we up that to 200?
Yeah, well, see, I wouldn't have probably agreed to that, no way. But I'm saying he agreed to that. Like we talking paperwork. Paperwork is paperwork. If you was slow enough to allow her to put 70 in the pot over 70 a month for 10 months, that's your fault, bro. Like I'm not gonna do that. And like I'm not you know better. You know better. Like
you say don't do that.
Don't do that. Like
hey, I'm just telling you how my mind. That's my money mind. My money mind went right in the. So you could double this if you took this job. We can move.
But it's more than the money mind that goes into that.
You.
Now you got her doing two jobs, you doing a job, and then like
listen, maybe that'll make her happy. Since we can work on her happiness while she's dropping off them orders.
We're gonna make her something. I don't know if it's gonna be happy, but you're gonna make her something. It ain't gonna be happy.
That's it. Let's go. Good show today. Good show.
Yeah, that was good.
Good show. Good topics. Good topics. Y'all good comments from my
yes.
David and
appreciate you, David.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. What's your final thoughts? You got any final thoughts?
We ain't got no damn sense. That's my first final thought. But no, for real. I think my main thought after this conversation tonight is that their intention is the word that is just at the top of my mind, that has come up over and over and over again, that for both men and women needs to take a different level of priority, not just in our romantic relationships, but how we show up in the things that we are engaging in. We have learned that our time is precious. There's never enough of it, and absolutely never enough of it with the people that we really, really want to be with the most. And if we have made the decision to do life, to engage with, to bring in, to protect and nurture someone in any capacity outside of hi-bye stranger on the street, you are also charging you with a level of intention that is above and beyond hi-bye stranger in the street. You don't get to expect engagement, prioritization, empathy, all of the things that we expect from the people who we put in these wondrous places. You don't get to get all of those benefits and not have to do any of the work to nurture and share that space with those people. Though it's going to run out if you don't meet folks in the middle. So there's got to be a shared level of intention. And when that's not there, if it's you at a deficit, you have to be willing to hear and own that person sharing with you, I'm gonna need you to step it up. And if it's someone in your life who is at deficit, you owe them. If you love them, you owe them the opportunity to know, I need you to step this up because I care about this. I care not only about you, but I care about us. And we got to do better. We deserve better, not just me, but I become a better me for you when we are better together. So like, don't you deserve a better me? Ain't that the me that you want? Like, well, let's get to it. Like, this is how you get it. Like, and have that conversation with your people. And that is being accountable. That's being an adult. That is being loving. That's that stuff. That's the good stuff. And my final thought.
I'm gonna piggyback on that. So this past Sunday, I talked about the actions of love, and we typically look at the 1 Corinthians 13 about love is patient, love is kind, it's not envious, it's not boast, rejoice in the truth, yada yada. But at the end, one of the things it says is it keeps no records of right and wrong. And one of the things that, to your point, that I think that keeps us from this this intentionality at times is that we have kept these records. We've kept scores or tallies based upon what the other person has done, and I don't think we should do that. Not so much in the sense that we shouldn't do it. Like, we have to also always be careful of abuse, but that's an extreme. But we shouldn't. But when you're dealing with someone who cares about you, then you shouldn't do that, because what that does is that creates this this tension of I have to get before I will give. And love doesn't function well that way. By its very nature, love is a giving thing, a giving action. And so the moment that we start rationing our giving, then now what we've done is we've started to close the reciprocity that we also desire. So I think we've got to, as we're being intentional, we've got to think about, first of all, are we bringing our full self to this? And second, if we're unwilling to be intentional, is it because we are keeping score? And if we're keeping score, are we giving the same measure of points to the other person that we give to ourselves? Are we thinking that because it's a sacrifice for us to cook dinner when we're tired, that's worth 4 points, but for them to have to go to work at a job that they seemingly like and get a nice paycheck, that's only worth 2 points? So now my dinner is worth 4 and they owe me 2 points because I'm up that 2. So you got to figure out a way to make up these other 2 points, or I'm winning the game and I don't feel loved because I scored 4 and you only got 2. So you owe me 2. And that mindset permeates in our subconscious, it permeates in our spirits, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves now in a space where that effort that we once took, that intentionality, that extra that we would give to them because we wanted to be their safe space, or we enjoyed hearing about their day, now all of a sudden it's like, I'm up by 2, I don't have to do this today. And so guess what? I'm going to bed. I don't want to hear it. And we can't
catch up.
Yeah, you got to catch up. And then when they try to catch, what's funny, when they try to catch up, then we'll be like, they're only doing it because they know they're behind. So instead of that being worth 1 point, I'm only going to give them a half a point. And so now they working hard. And then guess what happens? When they do catch up, they so tired from catching up. They like, forget it. I don't even want to play no more. And you like, what happened? Don't you love me? I thought you were supposed to. Yeah, I do love you, but you don't woe me out trying to keep
it. Ain't worth it. It ain't.
I can't play your game.
No do it. Yeah.
So I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, let's be intentional. Yes, let's listen, but at the same time, let's remember that like we can't keep score. We have to assume, if anything, we have to assume if you're gonna keep score, give them extra points for what they're doing, then more give them more points for what they're doing than what you would give yourself. So then that way you continuously, if both of you are doing this, now you're continuously saying, I want to serve. I want to give. And again, I want to give from a place of not trying to catch up because I have to do it, but I want to do this because I want you to know that I value you and that your presence in my life makes me better. That's my final thoughts. So,
and the word, I'm gonna put that in my spirit. Let that permeate.
permeate.
Do his work.
Permeate. No,
Yeah.
I heard that word in a minute. Good show tonight. Really good show.
Yes, this one was good. This one, it did what I expected it to do. It was good. Appreciate y'all in the comments, David. I very much appreciate your commentary tonight. I love it when the bros show up. And
I always enjoy listening to David. David is a brilliant brother. I like to hear his thoughts are. Can you hear the music now?
No.
We gotta figure this out. All right. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. We will be back next week. Another good show. Y'all keep sending us these topics so we can have things to talk about. We will definitely, just like tonight, post them straight out of the unbox. So Q, as always, I learn
facts.
something new every week, and I appreciate it. So, thank you for being you.
My joy. It's a joy.
Absolutely. All right, y'all have a good night. Again, if you didn't hit the share button already, do that. Find us on SoundCloud. Share that too. We'll be back next week. We'll see y'all later. Have a good night.
See ya.